Good morning, good afternoon, good evening across the country, around the world. Welcome back to Planet Coaster WestCOT. Oh, it's been a while since I've touched Planet Coaster. Well, no, I lied. I played with a little bit streaming. My computer didn't really handle that very well because my computer isn't that beefy, but I can play it and record and still be okay. Oh, there's a couple of glitches there, it looks like. We'll see. I'm trying out OBS. We'll see how that functions for this video. I haven't actually watched this whole thing all the way through. Anyway, we are back to WestCOT, Bangkok, Thailand. I actually played a bit a few months ago and recorded a little more, but I've lost those recordings. I moved. I lost things. Or the files are still somewhere. I just don't know where. Anyway, as you can see, we added some towers to Bangkok, Thailand, to the temple. I finished off the temple. It's pretty much done aside from lighting. I do that at the end. But yeah, there it is. I believe those temple pieces are from an Indiana Jones set, and I've forgotten who. Yeah, I've forgotten who it is. But they're cool. They drop them on, and they make nice little towers for the temple, and it's amazing. I think also, I forget whether it's the same kit or the same user, but there is another temple there. I'm coming over to it right now. That's back here, just kind of a dressing piece for the coaster in the background. And for some reason, when the ride or when the game updated, the supports went purple, and I don't know why, but now they're gray, so that's better. Anyway, yeah, here I was just taking a quick little tour around because I was trying to figure out, oh gosh, what am I doing? What am I doing? What is life? But I jump in and I figure, okay, there's lots of people here. There have been some tweaks to the way the game works and whatnot. There's some new things, Back to the Future, whatnot, but we'll get into those another time. But I know I was having a lot of guests are thirsty. So I figured, okay, let's add something down here, like another little shack or something. There it is. Many guests are thirsty. So we're gonna add a little shack that's of a similar architectural style of the temple itself. I kind of wanted something that was a little more natural and simple, so I did pip shot, juice, and water because they seemed to fit. And as soon as they opened, people were there trying to scarf up that drink because everybody's thirsty. Lots and lots of people are thirsty. So we go with, yeah, I try to, like I said, it's been a while since I played, so I kind of had to go through and figure things out again about what's what, colors, things like that. Anyway, yeah, this becomes a little shack with drinks. So that's a nice thing for people to have because, you know, people get thirsty. It happens. Yeah, but that's this little shack down here. That's the most of this episode is, well, this shack and a lot of trees, cleaning things up. Like I said, I took a break for a while because I kind of lost inspiration for Planet Coaster. And it's a game, you know, it takes a lot of inspiration. It's a little more of an artistic game, if you will. It takes a little more artistic output versus, you know, something else like Kerbal. You can play that through and do the wacky things that Kerbal Space Program does, whereas this, to me, does require some artistic output and motivation, and that's hard to always have. Anyway, water there. This episode wrapping up Thailand finally. It took a lot longer than I meant for it to take, but I'm actually very pleased with it, especially at the end. It's a very lush, jungly setting, and there's lots of nice sight lines and weenies and whatnot. Could probably use a little more work, but I'm not sure what I'm doing next to it exactly yet. So there's a little bit of gaps here and there, but for the most part, we tree the crap out of this, and it closes things in. And that's what we do today with, what's it called, with Planet Coaster and Bangkok, Thailand. Yeah, lots of trees, lots of bushes. It's honestly a lot of copy-paste and shuffling things around from one spot there. Like, I saved those bushes before as a building. There's a post buried in the ground, so that's what makes it. That's what makes it building. So you can copy paste the whole building and shove it around to do that. Unfortunately, I had some bushes that were sticking into my path, and they were a pain to get to. I had to go underneath. Is it that one? It wasn't even that one. It was that one. There it goes. So now they're gone. Oh, one more bush. Hard to get to. There he goes. But overall, the way Thailand has turned out, Bangkok, Thailand, I'm very pleased. I ended up, before you get to the temple, there's the cargo area, because Bangkok, Thailand is a very much a cargo port. But I'm not sure if that's really a part of Thailand or if it's just kind of a part of the park, and it just kind of fits. Either way, I think it works as a transition to from the areas. It's a bit of a stark contrast between the lush jungly setting that is the temple area, but it still gives it a bit of a transition. It's not. I don't think it's as jarring as like the straight up just like future world type of stuff. It's a little bit of a transition, and that's a good thing. That's what you see in a lot of parks, a lot of Disney parks. Transitions, sometimes, some places you can have a future ride like the Nemo subs right next to something that's quote Fantasyland, like the giant Matterhorn Mountain, but not even Disney gets it right all the time. Believe me. Yep, sliding more bushes, sliding more trees. Let me try to think. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I missed. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while, and I could probably go back and watch, but I can't remember. But I did the front facade of the temple with a bunch of not custom pieces, but a bunch of random pieces. Those aren't wall pieces. Those are all manually slid across with the advanced mover tool, and that was quite the chore. But I'm happy with the way that turned. I think that turned out to look a lot like the way that the reference images that I had look, and I'm very pleased with that. And again, the temple spires were from an Indiana Jones kit. I can't remember whose it was. I'm sorry, but it's cool. It's awesome. It's actually got a lot of modular pieces to it, so you could select what you wanted. On the back side, you can't see it. I think you saw it at the very beginning, maybe. There's a whole wall that's those kind of chunky block things. So that was a cool thing to do, except that it's a lot of individual pieces, and it's a lot for the game to render. So sometimes it can be really, really bad. Like this, you're watching this at 4 times speed, which isn't too bad, actually. I only recorded for like an hour and 20 minutes. This ends up being 20 minutes. This looks fine, but believe me, the game is a little sluggish, especially like moving the camera around. It's a little sluggish, but it's okay. It's workable. The next 2 lands are going to be, well, there's 3 more lands. The 2 that are next to Bangkok and then Valencia, Spain, are going to be, one of them is going to be African, and one of them is going to be South American. I think for the African one, I think I want to go with Cape Town, because it's at the very bottom of Africa, rounding the Cape, rounding the Horn of Africa. No, the Horn of Africa is Somalia. Cape. Anyway, it's going to be something African, but still kind of port feeling. I'm not sure if it's going to have... I don't think it's going to have an E-ticket ride. I think I'll have a few B or C tickets that are simpler, flat rides, something fun there. I'll have to do some research as to what is there, what Cape Town is famous for, like Cape Town architecture or something like that, and find out what they have. Let's see, didn't Africa host the World Cup? Somebody there did. I don't think it was South Africa, though. It might have been. I'll have to look that up. Maybe we'll put a stadium. And then on the other side is going to be something South American, but who, I'm not sure. Everybody does, South America. A lot of people do Argentina. I don't think Argentina is represented. I don't think any South American country really is represented at Epcot in Walt Disney World. I really don't think so. Although now apparently they are going to be having Spain, and I think they might get Brazil. Yeah, I can't remember. I know we've heard those rumors. Although chit-chat about that stuff. But yeah, it'll be a South American country of some sort, South American port city. I might go with Ecuador. My father-in-law is from Ecuador, so that kind of ties in with, doing Valencia for my mother-in-law, although we're not on good terms with my father-in-law, so maybe not. But that's what those 2 will be, and then of course we will have the main weenie in the back. We will be San Diego, prominently featuring a mission-style building that's the train station, which will end up being the monorail station. And then we'll have a cool coaster back there that's a cool theme. I don't know if I've said it. I'm keeping it to myself for now. But I'm excited to try that, because that'll be a different stretch for me. What's on screen right now is just a village shack. I looked up Thailand village, and there were a lot of buildings that were up on posts, up on bamboo posts, and I just did it with wood because it was easy to just plop those in. But there's a lot of them up on posts, I think, because of the way the water levels rise. They're up on posts, that way they can survive. But a lot of them are very simple wood. A lot of them look like actually like bamboo structures. Unfortunately, there's no bamboo really in the game aside from individual pieces, and that's cool, but that would take forever to build, and it would really slow my system down. So we're just going to go with the natural wood here, and I think it gets the point across, right? It looks like a shack that would be out in the wilderness somewhere in a village, but railing it up, doing all the things. It's not terribly well detailed, but it's I think it's decent. It definitely gets, like I said, the point across. And last piece of railing, good. And I struggled, like, how do I get up there? I just found a ladder because it seemed easiest. I was gonna do a ladder with a right angle like that to a platform, but that seemed more hassle than it's worth. Trying to find the platform, trying to find the right piece for it. It wasn't necessary. Because that piece is so modern looking, it just wasn't gonna fly. So I said, never mind, we'll just do this. And that's how they get up there. Sorry, guys. Yeah, and close the railing a little bit more. Let's see. Yep, and then a door. I was like, where's the simple... Oh, there it is. There's the really, really rugged door. Burp, burp. There we go. And then windows with bars. Nope. And there's really no good, like, really, really rickety, rustic-looking window. Those are about as close as it gets. And even still, those look like nicely produced windows. And then I thought the roof looked a little funny because they don't quite line up correctly, so it was kind of weird. In the reality, the reference images, these look like, you know, thatch roofs, but I don't have that. Or we do have the other thatching, if that's what it's called, the fantasy one, but it's not correct. So I did this stuff, the aluminum stuff, and I've seen that in a few reference photos too. Not quite a building of this shape and style, but I have seen them with the iron roof, the aluminum, the corrugated metal roof. So there's that. At this point, I was thinking like, all right, I'm fairly happy with it, and then I realized, oh wait, I'm missing a lot of trees. I thought I could copy that. That's only trees. I actually wanted trees and like the underbrush. There we go, to fill this out. And that's a big part of the next little bit, is just ground cover, just putting those things in there. And I kind of wanted to block off as much of the sight lines as I could. Unfortunately, the way the river curves around there, I have to like cover that whole bit of the river. I was getting notices about prices and things. But here we just take and drop a whole bunch of trees and bushes along the edge of the river to cover it up and hide it. Yeah, because I moved it instead of advanced moved it. Use a bunch of these, and this is the same piece. It's literally just rotated like 4 different times, a bunch of different ways. And then I did it without the tree because that was annoying. It was the same little tree, and I didn't want that same exact tree. But yeah, I thought, oh, just a few of these, and I realized, nope, you can see it from all the way over there. I'm trying to pay a little more attention to sight lines as my proficiency with Planet Coaster grows. I don't know if proficiency is quite the right term, but I kind of want sight lines to be something I'm considering to get things correct, to get things blocked, and because sightlines, it's all about the show. It's all about what you see in a theme park. Believe me, I know. It's all about what you see and what you perceive. So I wanted to block that off as much as possible to give it sightlines and not have that other part be super exposed and like, nope, here's some empty fields. Enjoy. I think behind those trees there to the right, I am going to put a small hill that'll separate Bangkok, Thailand from whatever else, from whoever's next. I think I might put Africa. Although, let's see. Oh, no matter what I do, either if I put Africa here or on the other side, Africa is touching, it's Africa and then Europe and Asia, Eurasia. Yeah, I guess Eurasia and Africa are separate continents, so that'd be okay. And South and North America are different. Yeah, either way I do it, it's going to be okay. None of them are terribly close to each other. It's not like I'm doing, you know, Germany next to Denmark or something like that. At that point, I thought I was done, but I'm not, because I realized I didn't light almost any of this. So we go through and light all of these things, which I was really remiss in not lighting this before, because that I finished months ago. But we light it up to get things going with those industrial lights, whatever, there. And then I figured, wait, I want something on, where are the lights? On the loading towers, whatever they're called, the cargo loaders. And these aren't wonderfully mounted, but they're there, and it gets a nice glow on the pathway instead of just the lanterns, or just the street lamps. And then here, back to street lamps inside here, because it's kind of, again, industrial looking. And there we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. For just playing for an hour and a half, things went pretty smoothly for me. And it's pleasantly surprising very frequently how enjoyable this game is when you come back to it after taking a small break. Yeah, once I added lighting to all these things, it just made a lot of things just pop and glow. You'll see that in a few minutes when we get to the main path into the jungle. I use the torch, the small bamboo like tiki torch. Might be more quote correct, but it doesn't give off as much of a glow, and it's just not as fun. So we end up using the big torches. Yeah, so that's that. Happy with that. And then here's where I'm gonna test out which one do I like better, the big torch or the little torch. That gives off a pretty big glow, and then this one is a tiny glow. So I don't do that. So we just slap a whole bunch of these guys down everywhere. Try to be mindful of where trees are, so I'm not, you know, putting fire directly into a tree branch. Unfortunately, I think it happens a couple of times, just because otherwise there's nowhere to put the torches. But I really like, once it's done, the level of glowy light that it gives. It looks almost like, watching this now, it looks like they tweaked the lighting behaviors, parameters of the game, because before it would light up just a little area, but here it seems like it has a core lit up area, but it also extends further out, you know, with a milder light. So that's cool. That, I think, or it seems like a new thing to me. Oh god, this area is so congested though. I don't know whether they're all going to the monorail or what, but it's so congested. Going into the temple, it's just kind of ridiculous. I guess because there's two big e-ticket rides right there. That's a draw, plus, I guess, plus the monorail station. I suppose, plus the monorail station. It feels like it to me. I mean, I think people are riding the monorail. Oh yeah, I had to rebuild the whole monorail. Apparently with one of the updates, for some reason, that ride just disappeared. So I had to start from scratch back at the station at the front and go again and try to line things up underground. It didn't work out. I had to finagle with the tunnels and the stations. It was kind of a pain, but we got there. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it before. I think I mentioned it in the channel update. You can just see them in the back there. Oop, there they are. The Buddhas. Those were found on the Steam? On the workshop. There it is. On the workshop. They're actually mostly made out of like pirate skulls. So they're kind of cool. But they're kind of cool, meaning like they look like Buddhas, but they're also cool because they're made of skeletons, I think. But they're there, and they serve the purpose of giant Buddha display things. So lastly here, I was lighting up the inside of the temple. I'm pretty sure I've lit the actual like stations, the launch station for the coaster, and I'm pretty sure for the coaster, nearly darn sure that I did for the for the Rapids ride. And that is about it for lanterns and for Bangkok, Thailand. I'll get back to this soon. I'm actually going to start building a new desk soon, so that'll be a few days till I do anything else. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, pass the word. I will catch you later.